Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. I almost said good morning. Well, it is for our presenters. But let me just hit continue here. I guess I have to do that. There we go. Good morning. I want to welcome all of you to our June SMPTE New England section meeting. This is actually our last meeting for our SMPTE year, which ends this month. We will be off in July and August and back in September. And so wishing you all a very pleasant summer. And keep in touch with us if you have any ideas for meetings or anything at all. We're here, we'll answer you. Um, Today's meeting is a subject I don't think we've ever really touched on that I can remember. And this is on streaming and streaming formats and what's going on. I mean, at one time, we all thought of Flash and things like that, but now we're into things like HLS and receiving it on HTML5 players and what's going on with the use of streaming and broadcasting. And to do that, we brought aboard Clarissa Moody and Mike for a presentation from Dacast, or is it really Dacast? I've heard both mentioned.
It all depends where you're geographically located, so you're good.
Depends where you're located. Should we be using Dacast or Dacast?
I use Dacast, but
Dacast.
yeah.
Okay, and also one of our members here, who you'll see here, Michael Weber, is actually using your product, which I didn't know till just a few minutes ago. So that's quite interesting. Um, and again, a lot of the people I've spoken to, they're not even aware of what a content distribution network is. So I'm really looking forward to this presentation. I think it'll be very informative for all of us. So I'm going to turn it over to you now, Clarissa or Mike, or whichever one of you want to begin, and we'll let it roll. There we go.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know once you see it.
Not yet, Claire.
Do you see it now?
Yes.
I can see it.
Perfect.
Great. All right, so we are Dacast. We are known as a backend all-in-one solution. We provide a player, a CDN, and monetization tools, and great support, of course. All right, so as you can see here on our dashboard, we have data remaining, storage remaining. These are basically what you need in order to stream. And of course, storage is what enables you to store your content on our platform. You have unlimited channel creation with Dacast. We're gonna go through live stream. So to create a live stream with us, you simply click on create live stream. You will title your live stream, select sourcing region, and we also offer live transcoding, which means that you can create different renditions of your video. So regardless of your viewer's internet connection, they will still be able to watch. Going into features we offer. So when it comes to titling and describing your video, these only show up when you're monetizing or if your video or content is in an expo, which I'll show you shortly. There's two ways in which you can share your content with Dacast, either through embedding onto your website or putting a share link on your social media or sending it out through email. Live stream recording, we offer the capability to live stream record, and whatever you record will then sit on your video on demand section. This can be embedded or monetized at any time. Live stream start countdown, great way to build anticipation for events starting at a later point. We are a fully white label solution, so you have the ability to upload a splash screen, and this is an image that covers the entire viewable area of the player when the content isn't playing. We have a thumbnail, and that's basically an icon or a still picture that you see on Netflix, for example, before you actually select a video. And then of course, poster, it's a large image you can upload and use for any purpose related to your content. Are we looking to monetize any content?
Are you
Well,
asking a
we
question?
would not.
Okay, so we offer the ability to monetize, and I'm not going to go very in depth into paywall functionality, but we offer the ability to monetize your content through either pay-per-view or subscription services. And you can also create promo codes, so alphanumeric promo codes, to create value for your clients. Under engagement, we offer the ability to advertise. So ads configured here will apply to all your content and can be overridden individually. We offer pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll standalone ads. Google Analytics to capture video engagement. Brand imaging, once again, we are a white label solution. So you are able to upload an image on your actual player. Brand text and end screen text are also features we offer. Under security, you can create a password protection on your content, and this is 1 password per channel, and this can be changed as many times as you would like. Geo restriction is restricting your access to specific locations worldwide. So if you wanted to restrict your access to your content to just one country, you could definitely do that. Domain control is locking down your embed code to a specific website or websites. For theming, we offer the ability to control your controls, actions, and behaviors of your video. You can also change your overlay and background color, as well as customize an offline message. We provide advanced analytics, so you are able to see your plays and impressions per time, paywall analytics in terms of revenue and sales, engagement analytics, and also real-time analytics in small time chunks. For video on demand, we offer very much the same functionality. The difference is that you're able to upload subtitles in over 135 different languages. These need to be burnt into the video prior to uploading. Chapter markers. These actually enable you to create shutters within your video. So if you're uploading or creating educational content, your viewers are able to see the different shutters when they click on the title bar. Rendition. So we spoke about live transcoding. We also have transcoding for video on demand, where you can create different renditions and recipes off your video. Under folders, you're able to categorize your video according to the industry or however you would like, and you can also monetize these. Expo is a very popular feature that we offer. It's a mini Netflix-like solution where you're able to have a landing page, and soon we'll have the ability to CNAME this and monetize. But essentially, you're able to add in a variety of different content into an expo. And you can also change the design and appearance of how you would like it to look. And then, of course, using the share link, you would pop that into a clean browser, and your viewers are able to see all of your different content. Playlist with Dacast, basically where you can create a variety of different content in one specific player. These can be monetized and embedded onto your site. For analytics, you're able to see dashboard analytics, data usage, audience analytics, content, engagement, paywall, and real-time analytics. For your paywall, if you are looking to monetize, you're able to see your transactions and every single person that has purchased from you. And then, of course, under settings, you're able to create your default settings. And under account, you're able to see your different plans, your profile, your company profile. If you have multi-user access where you have different seats within your admin account, you're able to create those. billing, of course, and then your invoices to see all of your charges. As you can see, our platform is very straightforward. We have great support, and we have a lot of great features coming out as well. Any questions?
Seems very straightforward.
Very straightforward.
I do have a question. The thing that's popping out at me, I guess, as a customer, this interface is different than what I'm used to. And I'm noticing that the URL is app.dacast.com, and I'm accessing my dot. And I tried to go to app, and my login doesn't work. Are there...
Yeah, hi, Michael. We have a new platform, which you're looking at now. We are migrating clients over in chunks. I can get the exact date or an estimated date of when they're planning to migrate your particular account.
Oh, okay.
If it needs to be expedited, we can do that. But there's a 100% chance you're going to be migrated probably in the next couple of weeks. I think they're talking about like early July having like 90% of the clients migrated over.
Gotcha. Okay, that's why it looks different.
Yeah, and one key is all your channels will stay the same. So we're sharing channels between Akamai and Limelight. So your legacy channels will remain on Akamai, and the new channels you create will be on Limelight.
Okay.
I have a few questions. So I assume you're using HLS streaming.
Not yet.
Not yet. So what is it currently?
It's HTML5. We do have an HLS link called M3U8 that we can use for live channels only. HLS is on the near horizon. The industry is moving forward 100 miles an hour to get to HLS, but there's really not an affordable encoder yet for many of our users. So for us to rush down the HLS path, it's kind of like a catch-22. We could become HLS tomorrow, but then 90% of our clients wouldn't have an encoder that works. So yeah, we're kind of in a holding pattern, but the industry's racing to get that. As soon as I think OBS, the free encoder, creates an HLS version, then HLS will be adopted much more quickly.
Yeah, that would make sense. What are the advantages of HLS over HTML5?
It's latency, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I mean, standard latency at HTML5 is 25 to 35 seconds. We have it down to 12 seconds. And HLS, if I'm hearing what I'm hearing and the settings are correct, it should be around 4 or 5 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, ultra low latency is considered, 2 seconds, in and around 2 or 3 seconds. Ultra low latency is still experiencing some capacity issues, like 20,000 viewers type of capacity. But again, these are all things that will probably fix pretty quickly.
What compression formats is it based on?
Compression formats. That is the $1,000 question for me today. That's never really factored into any of the settings or any of the things that we do. Basically you send us the stream at a bit rate that you prefer, anywhere between 800 and 4,500 kilobits per second. It goes up to our servers, and RTMP comes down HTML5 at the output bit rate that you've decided to put into your encoder. We're not really compressing anything. Our video VODs are MP4s.
Yeah, they're MP4s.
Yeah, so there's a little compression there.
Yeah, in other words, like H.264.
Yeah, well, we are an H.264 platform.
Yep. So normally we would direct RTMP to you, and that's what you pick up.
Well, yeah, we shake hands at the encoder. So what you do, your video and audio output would, leave your sources into an encoder. And at that point, that's where it gets converted to the RTMP.
Now, I wanted to point out to our viewers that one of the things that impressed me when I went to your website was some of the excellent explanations and tutorials that you have on there. because you really get heavily into the, the differences between all of the alphabet soup of these various formats. And if you're just getting into this, I think you'll find it very, very interesting. Another question I have is, do you charge based on bandwidth usage, or how is that done?
Yeah, two-part answer here. So the first part is to go back to what you were speaking about in terms of documentation. We have a very diverse demographic in terms of clients. Small congregations streaming to 5 people on a Sunday, so like mega stations, all over the world. So it just kind of runs the gambit. But we have documentation on every aspect of our platform. So you can go into knowledge base, type in a keyword like OBS, and it'll bring up a tutorial. That's that part. And then we charge on viewer hours, which is converted to bandwidth. So for example, 1,000 people watching for 3 hours is 3,000 viewer hours. 3,000 viewer hours is approximately 1 terabyte. And then, 1 terabyte's $250. It kind of runs, that's how we charge. So you would say, okay, I've got 500 viewers per day. They all watch an average of 1 hour a day. That's 3,500 viewers, a week. It's about 15,000 viewers a month. So 15,000 viewer hours a month is about 5 terabytes. A 5 terabyte plan is $3,468. So it's sort of, that's how we do it. Anything above 2 terabytes a month is customizable. So we can make any plan work for you.
So do you have to subscribe, or can you join this on an ad hoc basis or for specific usage?
Yeah, we do have bulk bandwidth purchases. So what you could do is, and a lot of our clients will do this, they'll purchase our minimum event plan, which is 6,000 gigabytes for $750 on the new platform. Michael, you're grandfathered into the old pricing, so high five. But yeah, so you would just make a single purchase of 6,000 gigabytes. You put that on your account. You'd use as needed and add as needed. You have 12 months to use the 6,000 gigabytes. So we have a lot of folks who just, they'll stream like 4 times a year. They do a cumulative total. So we have 10,000 viewers for 3 hours, and then they buy the bandwidth to cover. Then after like their second or third event, they'll just double check their bandwidth, make sure the math is correct, add some if they need to, and then continue on.
So if in the middle of a broadcast, suddenly there's an influx of viewers, do you dynamically increase it and bill accordingly?
We have a feature called playback protection, overs protection, playback protection. You can choose a predetermined amount that you'd be charged. A lot of times 100 gigabytes or 500 gigabytes is the average choice. And then you have a valid credit card on file. Then when you exceed, if you have 1,000 gigabytes on your account and you hit 1,001 and exceed your plan, then your card is pinged for the predetermined amount. So yeah, playback protection. So you never lose your stream.
Does the stream vary with the internet conditions? Is it a dynamic system?
Not as I speak with you today. We do have live transcoding channels available, and we are introducing those platform-wide, if I'm hearing correctly, by the end of the year. So live transcoding is available now on a per client ask basis, and then we'll be adding it platform-wide by the end of the year if we stay on schedule. We have many upgrades occurring right now, so it's almost hard to keep track.
Do some users stream things such as their Zoom programs, or is that a licensing issue with either of you? Or I'm just curious. Everybody wants to interface Zoom to something these days.
Yeah, we have many people streaming Zoom meetings. It's actually like for lack of a better term, I call it like a poor man's switcher, where you can have like 7 people in a meeting and then stream that meeting onto one of our channels. We have the entire court system of Rhode Island using this system. So judges carry around basically like, an iPad with a Zoom on it, and then they just get to their courtroom and they plug that in and they stream to their channel. But yeah, and Minnesota is starting to do that now. And we have the Supreme Court of Louisiana, and they're starting to convert over to Zoom as well.
So you say so they're using the Zoom as the switcher. They can go full screen to anyone on the Zoom.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
That's an interesting concept, and yeah, I've heard of that being used.
Yeah, if you have Zoom Pro or above, it works great with the new platform, not so much the legacy platform.
How long have you been doing this?
Me or the company?
No, the company.
I've been doing it for 23 years, but the
That's a
company,
long haul, yeah.
yeah, like the company has been doing it for 8, and I've been on board for 6.
So, so obviously at the rate the technology is improving, it's like it's almost daily. You're the way you're speaking. There's a lot of new things right on the horizon that will improve this even more.
Yeah, I think the COVID experience magnified some weaknesses in the industry, and also forced some changes across the board. Made it a little bit more pedestrian. So like a lot of folks who, we had a ton of high school sports come on board, and a lot of congregations come on board, and a lot of fitness instructors. We had 2,000 Zumba instructors come on board at the start of COVID. And, they're not high-tech people, because they're just used to getting in and going, and stuff. So that was a little bit of a learning curve. And I think the simplicity of our platform worked well in that regard. But yeah, it's changing every day.
Any other questions? Looks like Michael has a question.
I just wanted to ask about multi-bit rate streams. I know that I think currently, in order to offer different bit rates, and that would be for the purpose of the viewer, maybe on a poor connection, dropping to a lower bit rate or a higher bit rate if they have the bandwidth, that you currently have to send those separate streams up. Is that in the future, or is there any thing on the cloud side that would create some derivatives of the stream on the cloud end?
Right, exactly. So with Limelight, the new CDN, Akamai's been slow to embrace the sort of the technology that we wanted. So we decided to go with Limelight, at least for the live transcoding channels. So like the use case scenario would be, it really, the live transcoding part of it really likes about 4.5 megs. So you would set your encoder at 4,500 kbps, push out, predetermine the bit rates that you'd want to offer up, which is real common. It just depends what your demographic is, but like 480, 720. Sometimes people choose 576 for whatever reason, and then like 1080. And then you could push those 4 into one player. And then most players are adaptive, and so if you're on a cellular device with decent internet connection, it may choose the 480 or the 576. And that's the beauty of the live transcoding. We have a lot of Latin American clients with large portions of their viewing audience in very low internet areas. And so the 240, which I thought was extinct, is used a lot down there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is the bulk of your US usage at 720p?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair assumption. A lot of desktop laptops. We have a lot of seminars, a lot of sporting events. A few people are starting to use their televisions. As smart televisions get smarter and easier to use. We do see some home use. Like a lot of our Texas football clients are pushing super high bit rates because many of their viewers are at home watching on TVs.
Are the broadcasters using it for any kind of backhaul?
No.
No. And if so, why not? It seems to me for news it could be used.
It could be. It's at this point, I just don't have a lot of people using it for whatever reason. Traditionally, we're more of a push than a pull. So I think people see us that way. But yeah, it could certainly. We had I felt the Associated Press out of New York using us, sort of in that way. And then we have an office of the Weather Channel that uses this as well.
Well, I would think, in terms of live stuff, the latency is still kind of long for live backhaul, but for slightly delayed backhaul, I don't see why it couldn't be
Yeah, I mean,
used.
12-second latency. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
great, but I mean, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, when it gets to HLS, it'll start approaching areas where it would have more utility.
Sure, it'd make more sense for sure. 100%.
Yeah. Do you see it getting any better than that
Well, I think
in
that's
HLS?
yeah, I think when they solve the capacity issues of ultra low latency, I think that's it'll be instant. It'll be security camera quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the end of the rainbow that everyone's pushing for. Latency's been a big issue for 3 years.
Mm.
And you'd be surprised. We have a lot of sporting clients and people who actually take their mobile devices to sporting events and watch the sporting events on their mobile devices. I just blows me away. But that's so latency becomes like an issue on why you go to a live event only to watch it on your phone in the stands. But yeah, we get that a lot.
What technologies on the horizon do you think will affect your industry the most?
I think the affordable encoders, and especially mobile encoders. I think that it's like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. A lot of these, like Facebook, is basically starting to really want to become their own TV network. It's going to be harder and harder to just randomly stream onto Facebook and stuff. They're going to close that down. So I think when they start doing that, and they are doing it slowly, the mobile encoder is going to be like a big deal. Where people can have a mobile encoder on their phone and then stream to anywhere, to any platform that they feel like they want to stream to.
Is bandwidth getting less expensive for you, or do you have shortages of bandwidth?
No, bandwidth actually is coming down in price.
Mm.
And a couple of years ago, storage was expensive, but what seems to be expensive these days is the encoding. The encoding and the transcoding it seems to be like the expensive part of it right now. But I mean, as a whole, the prices are coming down.
Well, it seems like in terms of the user aspect, it's a very easy system to use. The tutorial that we just saw really, pretty much anyone should be able to navigate it easily. Certainly,
That's the thing. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, like relatively know what you're doing, you could set up and be running live with us in 20 minutes. And that's sort of the key. We are like more of a backbone. We're not a lot of bells and whistles. We have strong analytics suite, very strong video on demand, very strong live streaming. We just charge you for bandwidth. You're not paying for like a feature that you may or may not use. So a lot of our biggest clients are doing all the text overlays and everything else on their side anyway, and then you're just using us to deliver the message.
And you don't have to maintain your own servers.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. We Limelight and Ogmire, like it's a peering system, so there's pods everywhere. So you're not relying on one server for play out.
Mm.
So if you need to get the A to C and B is clogged, it may go A to G to C. In terms of the peering system.
What about system redundancy? Are there any outages that have affected you badly, and can you immediately switch over to another? Does it set up anything like a private network or anything like that?
With the way the peering system goes, there was about 3.5 years ago when Google even went down, there was a worldwide sort of blip. We were down for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. That's the first time I've ever, but since that anomaly, there's been no outages. We do provide our streamers, every channel that you have has a primary and a backup. URL, so you could set up, a lot of our high priority clients will set up a backup like laptop with encoder with the backup URL, which sends the this, the signal a different route just in case something fatal were to happen in a particular region. But now that I've said it, it'll happen. But it hasn't happened.
Looks like Paul
Interrupt for a
has
second.
question, or-
Marty, we
Yeah.
just got a note that the meeting's gonna end in about a minute. So I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
we're
okay.
on a short
Okay,
notice.
guys. Well, yeah,
Well,
you
thank
can.
you. Thank
yeah.
you very much.
Yeah, Mike at Dacast is my email address. So feel free to reach out to me. We're big on support here. That's one of our key features, and so we get back to you quickly, and we're very helpful.
Well, thank you so much, and I'll look forward to returning in September with all of our membership, and we're working on some meetings, and we always welcome suggestions. So
Perfect.
again, thank you very much, and at some point we'll probably revisit this with you, Mike.
Yeah, would love to.
Clarissa. Thanks again.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Yeah, take
Bye.
care now. Bye-bye.